The Dancing Plague of 1518. What if I told you that in the summer of 1518, an entire community began to dance, not out of joy, but out of terror? That hundreds of people filled the streets of Strasbourg, unable to stop moving, until many collapsed and even died. This is not legend, it's history. Welcome to the true story of the Dancing Plague. In July of 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a woman named Frau Trophius stepped into the street. Without music, without festival, she began to dance. At first, people thought it was strange but harmless, perhaps even entertaining. But as hours passed and she showed no sign of stopping, concern began to grow. Within days, others joined her. One by one, men and women began to twitch, spin, and stumble uncontrollably. What began with a single woman soon became dozens, then hundreds. Witnesses said their bodies seemed driven by a force they could not resist. By the end of the month, over 400 people were reported dancing through the streets. Local authorities were baffled. Was it an illness, a curse, a punishment from God? Their solution only made things worse. Believing that music might help the afflicted dance out the sickness, they hired musicians and built wooden stages in the city square. Instead of calming the dancers, the rhythm drove them harder. The plague spread like fire. The dancers could not rest. Day and night, they moved until their bodies gave out. Some collapsed from exhaustion. Others broke bones. Feet bled, hearts raced, and many are believed to have died of sheer physical strain. Shops closed, markets emptied, and work halted as the city turned into a macabre stage for uncontrollable frenzy. Centuries later, historians still debate what caused the dancing plague. Some believe it was mass hysteria, triggered by the stress of famine and disease. Others suspect ergot poisoning, hallucinogenic, mold growing on rye bread that could cause spasms and visions. Yet others argue it was a form of religious mania, a collective trance driven by fear and desperation. No single explanation has ever been proven. Slowly, the outbreak faded as suddenly as it began. The dancers were taken to shrines, where prayers were offered to Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dance. Over time, the city returned to normal, but the story of Strasbourg's strange summer of madness lived on. The Dancing Plague reminds us that history is not always about kings, battles, and politics. Sometimes it is about the unexplainable, the moments that defy reason, that show us how fragile and strange the human experience can be. So, what do you think? Was it poisoned bread, a mass hysteria, or something far more mysterious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you love strange and forgotten stories from history, hit like, subscribe, and join us for the next mystery from the past.